Hello and thank you for stopping by. I'm Ishani, a design team member at CrafTangles, and I'm sharing today a creative idea for using stencils to make pattern paper. You see, I have a problem. I love the beautiful pattern papers available, but I stopped buying them because they're so pretty. I find it difficult to cut them, use them on my crafts, and part away. And well, you see, Christmas time is here, and I was planning to make Christmas cards, and that's when I thought, why didn't I buy any Christmas themed pattern paper? And then I realized I could make them myself and then not worry about using and finishing them. So today I'm using 3 CrafTangles stencils to make 3 pattern papers and then making cards, keeping them as my focal point. So keep watching to see how easy they are to make. I start with a stencil called Barcode, and for all the cards today I'll be using CrafTangles 300 GSM Classic Smooth White Cardstock. I cut an A2 sized panel and adhere my stencil with the washi tape behind the stencil. And also I'm using CrafTangles masking paper today, which is 5 by 6 in size, to protect rest of the paper as I blend my color. Because it is going to be Christmas themed cards, I'm taking the traditional colors red and green. The darker shade is crimson from Altenew and the darker green Moved Lawn Distressing. You may use the one that you have. The reason for using masking sheet is that the barcode stencil has thin stripes. So if I won't mask it, the ink may bleed and then they won't give crisp edges. With the dauber, I will first ink the crimson color on my stripes, and I am doing a random selection, few red and few green. The ones which would be masked by the plastic stripe will remain white. And I do the same with my Moved Lawn ink for the rest of the stencil. And here is how the stencil will look after blending. So that is the first pattern paper made. For the next pattern paper, I am using the stencil called Bubbles. Like I did the previous card, for this card too I take a card base and adhere it under my stencil and blend the red and green inks. So basically we are making pattern paper in the traditional Christmas colors and basic patterns that are very versatile, dots and stripes. I take the same masking sheet to mask the stencil at an angle, and with the dauber I am blending my ink through the small circles. I have blended the red and green colors in a diagonal so that there is an order to the pattern. You may also do random blending through the circles, but there might be chances of the ink going out of the circle, for which either you need to mask it or be very careful as you blend. So here is the second pattern paper ready for any of your projects, which I would later be using for my cards. For the third pattern paper, I am using stencil called Stripes. These are diagonal stripes and I am adhering a piece of cardstock behind the stencil like always. And I am going to blend in the same colors green and red through my stencil. Here also I am doing alternate stripes in the similar colors like how I did through the circle stencil. I am really happy with how effortlessly I am able to make pattern paper. I am thinking of all the various color combinations which I can try for using on my cards. Teal and pink like my previous video. I think that would be lovely for a card base. And here is our third pattern paper with the diagonal stripes. I'm just thinking if I had a candy cane die, I would use the same stencil and make a white and red diagonal paper and cut candy canes with it. How cool will that be? And now that we have our pattern papers ready, let's see how we can incorporate these pattern papers in some Christmas themed cards. For the first card, I have taken alphabet dies JOY and I'm going to cut letters out of these 3 pattern papers. To make a panel for my die cut letters, I am taking the fireworks stencil and with an embossing pad, I will dry emboss it on my front panel. Here's how the panel looks, and I love the subtle texture the embossing has given to the panel. Then I take my die cut letters, and after finalizing how I want them to be placed, I mount them on foam tape, and with the help of a T-ruler, I stick them on my dry embossed panel. And finally, I put some glue on the front panel and stick it on my side folding A2 size note card. And here is a clean and simple Christmas card with the 3 pattern papers we just made. I hope you like the idea of incorporating the pattern paper and alphabet dies for a card. You may change the colors and the stencils, make a different pattern and use it in another card which says hello or just a hi. I think there are various ideas which can be incorporated in this style. For the next card, I take side folding note card in A2 size and my 3 pattern papers, and with a pencil and a ruler I am drawing little rectangles, one for each pattern paper. And these small rectangles will be my presents. These pattern papers surely resemble the gift wrappers used during the holiday season. I cut my rectangles and now I have 3 presents ready to be arranged under the Christmas tree. For the sentiment, I use the sentiment from the set Festive Lights, and with the help of a stamping platform, I'm stamping the sentiment with a bright red ink, which is Archival Ink's Carnation Red. Just to dress up my presents, I'm using baker's twine to make little bows on each of them. And to secure the twine, I use some scotch tape behind the presents and then mount them on a foam tape and arrange them below. And here are the presents to make someone's Christmas merrier and brighter. For the third card, I am using the star dies and I am going to cut out some of these from the pattern paper scraps left. You could also hand cut these stars if you did not have dies. Now that I have stars, I will make the front panel of my card by die cutting the classic smooth white paper from the largest of the rectangles of the CrafTangles cross-stitched frame dies. I am using the stamp set Happy Days and I'll use holiday wishes as a sentiment. As the stamp set has holidays, I'll have to mask the letter S to make it holiday. I stamp wishes first with VersaFine Onyx black ink, and then on holidays I mask S and then apply the ink. Then I remove the mask, and as I have some accidental ink, I remove it with tissue paper and stamp the sentiment holiday. The sentiment is not as crisp as I would want and it has missing letters, so I'm taking a micron pen and completing my sentiment. Then I'm sticking few of my stars with glue and few of them I'm mounting on foam tape for more interest. I glue my panel on a side folding note card. And here's my final card using the pattern paper we made ourselves with stencils. I hope you like this way of stretching your stencils where we have made pattern paper and used them on cards. You can make them and customize the colors for albums and scrapbooks and all the places we use pattern paper usually. All the supplies used are linked in the description box below for your ready reference. And if you have any queries, do ask them in the comments below and we will surely get back to you. Also, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber yet, to get more ideas for using and stretching your supplies. Thank you for watching and have a great day ahead.